enjoy it, if not just for the references.
I can't do it. Hate to read. All right, kicking it over to my man, just Johnny.
Yep.
Been waiting there with a zen-like patience.
Oh,
He's got to bring back the wizard voice. He's been waiting.
I'll let you do the wizard voice there, sir.
So I reviewed a game called Wizard of Legend.
Okay, stop it. It's racist.
Against wizards?
Trying to figure out where it was
Look,
racist.
I have many wizard friends, so I think it sounds great.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Enabler.
Ah.
Thought you were an ally. What's going on, Mix? I got some emails to send tonight.
I sometimes dress up as a wizard, you know.
Oh,
so
come on now.
I can
Appropriation
speak
as well?
for...
That's just... Where does it stop?
I just want the
So-
wizard beard.
so-
Like I've always wanted to just grab my beard. It's like,
You're,
hey,
you're getting there. You got the gray going on.
yeah,
What
the
you need
white's
to do.
coming, brother.
Yeah.
I can't wait till it's full blown so I can start shooting lightning bolts at people.
Stop bathing. Get you one of them sticks.
So Wizard of Legend, it's a
Wizard.
game that just came out on Nintendo Switch, Steam, PS4, Xbox One, good old games, and and Humble Bundle. And this is a Humble Bundle published title, and it was also a Kickstarter game.
Oh, no.
And it actually released, and it's
Did
actually.
you give to the Kickstarter?
I did not give to the Kickstarter.
Oh,
I did
you gotta
not.
support business, Johnny.
I actually wasn't aware of this until the PAX email media tie-in stuff sort of notified me. I took a look at the video. The trailers for this game looked very interesting. It was like a very fast-paced Twitch, almost like a top-down. It's more so isometric twin stick shooter, except you are playing as a wizard. Now it looks like that. It's not a twin stick shooter. What it is more of, and even though I'm going to say The Binding of Isaac, which is a twin stick shooter, it's
Sound
not.
it out.
You don't use the second
Take
stick.
your
You don't use the second stick, but you are worrying about dodging enemy attacks. You are playing through these randomly generated levels. So other than the aiming part of Binding of Isaac, this is basically Harry Potter meets The Binding of Isaac through and through.
Damn.
110%. It's a little bit shorter than The Binding of Isaac. It is at times more difficult and a little bit more challenging. So if people who aren't familiar with The Binding of Isaac, this game has you starting off as just I guess like a high schooler or middle schooler, and you're going through a museum. It's like this national holiday, and you're visiting this museum. And this museum, apparently in this world that you're in, there used to be wizards as part of your history. And you're going through this museum that's sort of showcasing the history of wizards from way back when, and the one legendary wizard from way back when. You're sort of going through
Gandalf the Grey. It was Gandalf.
and you're handed these, I guess, technological fake holographic spells that you can sort of toy around with, and you're sort of given like these little mini challenges as you're going through the museum, sort of like exhibits.
So like handheld spark.
Yeah.
It's really just you with a gun.
Tone down, like you can't harm any of the other visitors that are there or anything like that. You're shooting fire all over the place, but no one gets hurt.
I can do magic too. Check it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
I know, right?
Wow.
And that is the
You get
tutorial.
noses everywhere.
And that is the tutorial system to this world, and it actually establishes a really nice part of sort of the world mythos and what this game is about. And then a portal opens up because you touch something that you weren't supposed to touch that was behind glass casing type of thing. It's very tropey, but it was a very nice setup for what then happens is you get teleported to way back in time to when wizards actually were prevalent, and you're going through these trials in order to become a wizard of legend, and you're being tested by the 3 champion wizards and eventually the Grand Master Wizard at the very end. And
a whole lot of wizardry.
Yes. Yeah, it's all about wizards and spells. And as you're going through these trials, it's essentially...
What about tribulations? Do you go through tribulations as well?
Tribulations, I guess, could be the boss fights.
Okay. All right.
And it's basically 2 randomly generated dungeon-like levels, followed by a boss fight, and then you repeat that for the first 3 bosses, and then after the final boss, after the 3rd boss, there's a immediate final boss encounter, and once you do all that, you beat the game. And
wait, so you beat this son?
I beat this game, yes,
All right.
through lots and lots of frustration because, man, this game is hard for very bad reasons, but it's also there's a lot of complaints I have with this game, but there's also a lot of good things that they actually did with this game. They did a good job with the combat. It's very fast, it's very fluid. There's a dodge mechanic that does not work exactly how you want to or expect it to.
Like most dodges, that's why you got to buy Japanese.
Yeah, but it does work, and a problem with this is that you can move around in these very tightly confined rooms, and part of the limitation of the tightness of the room that sort of forces you to focus on your positioning compared to the enemy's positioning so that you're not getting hit by their blasts, their magic spells, or their regular sword attacks or whatever. But also there are pits in some of these rooms. There will be pits and other types of traps, floor traps. So if you're dodging, you have to dodge smartly and dodge in the right locations in order to not only avoid the enemy attacks, but also avoid the environmental sort of layout of the rooms that you're in. So you kind of you're exploring through this labyrinth like maze, and you are avoiding these traps. You're finding these treasure chests. You're fighting each of the enemies that are throughout it. And then once you find 3 key NPCs, you open up these portals for the end of the level, which then results in a mini boss battle. And then once you beat that mini boss battle, you move on to the next level and the next set of dungeon-like challenge. And that's... Can we a little bit more to the right? There we go. That's good. All right. We're good. Thumbs up.
Set up
Yeah.
The dungeon challenge you were saying.
Yeah. So, and it's, as I said, it's fast paced. You're throwing spells out there, but it kind of also.
Now, are these upgrades that you were keeping? Because it looks like you'll get an upgrade. Is it a temporary boost? You're in the ice level and you get a fire boost, and this is like a temporary run, and then, or is it something that you maintain and carry through level to level to level?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. So there's 2 different currencies that are in this. There's the crystals, and then there's the gold. The gold is what you are going to use and spend and sort of level yourself up as you're going through a run. So the dungeon NPCs, you can spend your gold at their shops or whatever it is that they have available. There's different kinds of NPCs that offer different kinds of enhancements, dehancements, etc. And you spend your gold there, but if you die, your gold doesn't carry over. However, as you defeat enemies, you get crystals, and your crystals become the persistent currency. So if you wipe at the end of on your run, and just before you start the next run, you're kind of going through this fair-like courtyard area, and you're visiting those types of NPCs to help give you permanent unlocks. Now, there's no level up system to this, so there is no true RPG mechanics in this. You can only equip so there's 3 different things that you can equip. You can equip spells, which is basically sort of like your combat loadout. Yeah. And I'll get into very quickly in a little bit. You can equip relics, but you can buy and unlock a whole bunch of relics, and you can sort of socket them out. That's like your passive ability. However, you can only select one at the start of a run, and you'll get more throughout the run.
So there's strategy to it. Okay, good.
There is, and then you can get a cloak. A wizard cloak, and the cloak itself has its own set of passes, and that sort of has more of an effect on your play style as well as the relics, but the cloaks will give you like more defense and faster run speed, or higher chance to crit and higher crit damage. Different cloaks will give you different benefits.
Like the run and gun guy, because that's going to help out.
I was the higher chance to crit, along with higher evasion. So I got the defense and the crit, not for the damage, but I got the crit because I found this nice little exploit where you get the vampire glasses, and every time you crit, you steal a little bit, you get a little bit of life gain. So I wanted to crit as often as possible so that I'd regain health because this game is very challenging, and there's no way to increase your health in a very in an easy way. There's no like cooldown thing that you can activate every now and then. So you have to like really rely on and fine tune your loadout and really understand the mechanics of the game. So you have to play this over and over and over again. And it can be really frustrating for the first, 3 hours of playing this where you're not making any progress and you're unlocking things and you're really just testing things out. And then once you figure out which particular spells, and there are some spells that are absolute garbage in this game, and then there are other spells that are like so crazy broken because they will stun enemies for seconds on end, leaving you like unable to take any harm and
Okay, what's
things
the
like
best
that.
one?
The best one, my opinion, is the creeping water or creeping mist or whatever it's called. It's basically like this creeping tendril. I think it. You sort of like melee uppercut someone with water. That water turns into like kind of like the abyss. You know that little water tendril from the abyss?
Yeah.
Like a water bender.
Yeah, it bends around the enemy that you hit, and then it starts to twirl around that enemy, and if another enemy gets hit by that twirling water tendril, it then latches onto and ropes around them and stuns them, and then repeats the same process.
Now, you said like there were some broken powers. I'm assuming this is one of the broken ones.
This is one of the broken ones,
That seems pretty broken.
So it sounds dope though. It's just like, I got you and I got your boy.
And then the next one, and then the next one. Yeah, it'll keep on going.
And your boy's mama too.
That's right. That's right. What you got your kids? I got them now.
Yeah. So I mean, there are really cool spells, and really those are the parts of the combat that are really fun. Is playing around, figuring out which loadouts are ideal. But once again, there's also ones that are like absolute garbage, and you kind of feel like you're not making
a spell.
Yeah.
Or the I tied your shoelaces together spell.
Yeah. There's one where you make enemies sort of fall in love with you. You charm them. That one's kind of useful, but it's like so hard to land, and it's not
Stage 5
reliable.
clinger spell.
I feel like that one's a little too realistic.
So the combat, it's really good, except for areas where there's missing polish, and that's my biggest pet peeve with this game. Is just there's a laundry list of like polish elements that or lack of polish throughout this game. There's a lot of things that could be.
Well, we're looking at it now.
Yeah. So dodging, for one, you can run against the ledge of a pit and not fall, but the moment you dodge, if you don't dodge correctly, you will fall into that pit. Now that would be fine and dandy, except some of the pits that you have to dodge across are not exact, and you don't control the length of your dodge either. And there's a relic pickup that you can get that extends your dodge.
Oh, you just got an upgrade.
And it kind of ruins things. Now, another thing about the combat that you see here is that blue meter underneath the health bar. That blue meter builds up as you're attacking enemies, but if you're not attacking anyone, that meter starts to deplete. So it's so hard to build up that meter because there's never a constant flow of enemies near you, because you're wiping out a room and you're never going to build. It's super hard to build up that meter within a single room of enemies. And you're trying to sort of run quickly to the next group of enemies, but you don't know where they are because this level is randomly generated. You don't know where the next group is, and then by the time you get to them, that meter depletes, so you're like hardly activating your special blue bar for those types of spells. So that's another pet peeve I have. And then also just the combat is just what it really boils down to is just cooldown management. You're managing your cooldowns. You're just unloading all your cooldowns that you can on a group of enemies, and then spending the remainder of your time dodging their attacks until your cooldowns are active again. So when you finally understand what this game is about, it becomes kind of trivial and kind of easy, other than the unpolished bits still make it hard. Overall, though, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. It's $16. I believe. Let me just check real quick.
You gotta work for anybody. It's like, and I did this, and I did this, and you can do this, and you can do this, and you can do this. But
you said it was like a mix between Harry Potter and
Binding of Isaac.
And Binding of Isaac. I just want to know, was it Dark Harry Potter or
no? This is like the Philosopher's Stone, the very first one. Okay. Yeah, it's very lighthearted. It's kid friendly.
Never-ending stories.
Big teeth, bushy hair, you know.
But that's also a little misleading because of how difficult this is. Like, it's kid friendly in presentation and everything, except the difficulty is not kids friendly. Like, this will challenge a hardcore gamer. This is definitely a game for a hardcore gamer, but for a non-hardcore gamer, like, they might be misled.
They can suck it.
Yeah.
All
Overall,
right,
though, thumbs up. It's $16. It's available on all the major platforms: Steam, Nintendo Switch. I played and reviewed it on Nintendo Switch. I was
Steam,
given a review
Engage,
code for
Sega
this.
Saturn,
PS4,
CDI,
Xbox One.
Neo Geo. All right, thanks, Johnny.
Yep.
All right, the game is called Wizard of Legend.
Wizard of Legend.
Oh no, don't say
Yes.
that. All right, now, dude, I am going to go into Deadpool 2.